Okay, so we're back. We have some of the elements that I just went in and I tagged in from Nogget. Had to go back in just a while just to check a couple of things because we might be tweaking a couple of little details down the road. So we've got a Stormwind bench here, which we're just gonna sort of put right over there. And we're not gonna bother doing too much with it right now. We just want it to be handy for when we decide to do other things. Right, so another, oh, maybe we'll just put another one here. Just to be safe, you know. Sometimes we might forget. I just want to have two models of the benches while we figure out what we're trying to do. What else did we get? Oh yeah, we got some, might as well, some barrels. Oh, right. So this is ideal for a shop area, but I'm not entirely sure that this actually will work somewhere around here. Let's see if we can put it here. Let's see that. How does that look? Looks a bit out of place, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe if we just blow it up a little bit, right? And then we kind of just tuck it in here, right? No, a little bit further in, and maybe. Look, I'm not saying that that's where it's gonna stay, but I mean, it's not really doing much anything there, but we'll leave it there for the time being. Like, at this point, I'm not really interested in that. I want to actually look at some of the trees. So one of the things I want to do is, oh wait, I actually want to copy. Oh, I think I made a mistake. Okay, well, look, we'll fix this. It'll be like that, and this guy. Right, so we were saying that either we wanted it somewhere there or somewhere here. Now let's take a look at it from the inside angle and see, does that look good? Is that okay? Or is that better? Or is it better, like, thing is, if it's here, it's gonna clip into the house, so we're actually, I think we'll see it inside the house. So whereas I'm like, yeah, you know what, it's gonna be over here. We're gonna put it over here, just shy of the house and somewhat leaning into the road. I think that works. Pretty well, and I think that's fine. I'm, again, not 100% sure, but I think that's okay. Now, what happens if we add one of these? Let's just check, because sometimes, you know, something like that might work. Yeah, maybe that's all right. For the time being, I think we'll leave it like that. So, okay. What was the other thing? The other thing is we need to add some shrubbery on this side because we thought it was looking a bit weird. A bit barren, I guess. So, we'll put a couple of bushes down over here. Let's just fix the angle. Bring this up. Bring these down. Right, and I think what we can do is, if we're not too crazy about that, is we can actually have a tree sort of like growing tilted towards that direction. Let's go back down and see how much visual area that's covering. Not too much. I mean, that might be okay, I think. How does that look from the outside? It doesn't look too bad either. We need some of this though. Okay, I know exactly what we're gonna do. Don't worry. We'll add some of that. Yeah, we'll do some of that right there. And you know what? Why not take a little bit of this and just sort of complicate this a little bit by adding one of these little fellas right in there. And we now have a little bit of coherent tree work there. Another thing that we want to do potentially is maybe use some of this grass, and let's see. I would say, okay, wait. Let's get down here. If we place that grass, actually, ideally the grass would be behind, right? It looks better coming from behind these bushes. So, yeah, let's make it a little bit bigger and bring the grass in. How about there? Is that any good? Let's see. Oh. Yeah, I guess that's okay. That it's nothing like terribly intrusive. In fact, we're gonna make it a little bit larger just for the sake of it. And now we have to give a little bit of variety around that. So we'll take some of these tropical fern things as well, and we'll place them around. Let's see. Well, we'll put one fern right there, and then quite possibly another fern here. We'll make this one a little bit bigger. And oh yeah, we're definitely going to need a little bit of coverage here. So we'll just make this one a little bit bigger, slanted down towards the side, put it like that. And what do we have? Oh, we have a nice little gap here. Yeah, I mean, that could be okay. For the time being, we'll leave it like that. And okay, so we've added a tree, we've added some bushes there, we've added that on that side, and what else? What else did we do? We added some random little details here that really don't say much of anything, but we're gonna leave them for the time being where they stand, and hopefully figure out what we're going to do with those areas a little bit later on. Sometimes I'm messy like that, and that's just part of the process. Okay, so we've added... Okay, so we haven't finished adding the flowers. So again, just some rather even distribution here. Just sort of hitting every corner of the fountain with one flower of that style, and then we'll go and we'll pick the second one. We'll copy that and we'll paste that there, there, there. Do a little bit of this here and there. Again, this is all part of the modding process. It's tedious. It's not super. You know, it's not. It's. I didn't say anything. It's interesting. It's an interesting type of work, and it's detail oriented. So if you're not going to be comfortable doing this for very long periods of time, then maybe modding shouldn't be something you should be doing. It's a lot of patience to do this. It takes a lot of patience, and you want to do it. But again, sometimes like this is frustrating. I'm just going a little bit further than I want to. And here we go. So bring some of that. That can go down there. Then move it around. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Maybe this one a little bit smaller. Move it in there. A lot of things. Some of the things you actually won't be too comfortable with until you actually see them in game to know that whether or not you got it right, or whether or not it actually works. Other times you'll just be perfectly fine in just leaving something a little bit janky, which I try not to do very often, but it happens. You know, life happens. Nature finds a way. Was that? No. Life finds a way. Okay. Yeah. For the time being, we'll leave that away. I'm still unsure as to whether or not I'll be adding. Will I be adding benches? Let's see here. Let's just see out of curiosity's sake if we put a bench down there, a bench down here. Let's see. I don't know. A lot of the times it's just trying it out. So sometimes it actually does not work, and that's fine. If it doesn't work, you tried. A lot of the times, it's just a matter of looking at things and seeing whether or not they work. Sometimes the designs are tight. You know exactly what it is that you're going to be doing, and other times it's just an evolution. And sometimes you get better at modding, and you actually get better at the designs that you make, and sometimes not so much. Okay, so we have, actually that's not looking too bad. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, so I guess the next thing that we're gonna have to do is pack this up into the patch and take a look at that. Okay, we're back. Back in the game, and I gotta say, I really love the silhouette of the city from this point on, at least from this part of the port district all the way to the royal district. It's looking very, very good. But let's land down right now, and let's turn off the flying just to make sure. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some of the details that some of the detail work that we've done. So like you see, we went in here, we actually added these bushes and flowers, and they're looking all right, I think, for the most part. We'll get a definite idea. See, from here it looks very, very nice. It looks like it should. We still need to get rid of these patches of doodads that are on the floor, but that'll be another stage of the build itself. In terms of that, we moved the carts. We also have to take a look at some of this area. So remember how this was not really all that populated with plant life, and now we go, and that is about exactly the right amount of blocking that I want. You know, I wanted to obstruct most of what's on the other side, but at the same time still get a sense of what's there, and that's great. We still haven't adjusted the height or the angles of the hedges yet, so don't freak out about that. But yeah, I think this actually works pretty well, all the adjustments that we made here. Yeah, that's looking very good. So now let's move on ahead to see if we can try and take a look at the tree that we were looking back here at. And yeah, that looks pretty good. It looks pretty much like what I wanted. We'll take a look at some of these pine clusterings here. We got a big pine and a short stubby pine. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the tree. That isn't too bad. We might raise this or incline it a bit so it's not that sunk into the ground. This is perhaps move it a little bit further out to this point, because now we've sort of have an idea of what we'll be doing there, and maybe finish fleshing this area out to 1 degree. So that's what we have on that side. On the other side, not too much change, right? I don't think we did too much on the other side. So let's see. Let's just take a look and see if there's any sort of glaring mistakes that we want. So if you come right through here and look at the back here, this is looking fine pretty much. It'll be a little bit different once we start doing the details on the other side. This area looks alright for the time being. Some minor tweaks to the bushes that can be done. Yeah, so this is looking pretty good. What else do we need to start taking a look at? We'll probably bring in some vases and see how that works out. And we're still going to be looking at how to expand this road on both that way and that way. So yeah, so right now there's going to be some outward level of work being done. And then we'll sort of tackle the insides of the castle, which I know I haven't really shown you all that much. The floor irregularity I find perfect because that's, if you go into Stormwind, you'll notice how irregular the floor is. I like the fact that we have these yards here with different homes, so we'll have NPCs and probably some training grounds and whatnot there. We'll make sure that we deal with this guy as well at some point. And we're going to go back here, and we know that here on this side it's a little bit more stably, more whereas the other side I feel would be the military side. I feel this would be stables and maybe a couple of merchants and whatnot. But yeah, that's essentially where we're at with this build right now. I'll probably will continue working on it. I like to work on things as I have sort of a burst of inspiration. So we'll continue working on that, continue developing this Kul'tiras take on my behalf, and and hopefully you'll enjoy it. If not, you'll stick around and you'll get to see me work on some other projects as well. Or if you actually want to see me work on something in particular, go ahead and put it down in the comment section down below. So until then, everybody, take it easy, and I'll see you all next time.